Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with a first impressions reaction to those Snow White notes. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I actually have a list of series that I want to do first impressions on. I have a list of things, and it's just about whenever I end up getting to them, basically. And usually I tend to like add stuff to it randomly if something like new comes out, like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. When that came out, it's like I added it to the list and pretty much got to it right away. um, because I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to just react to it or do a first impressions. I decided to at least do a first impressions to make sure. So with this has been on the list for quite a while, pretty much since I first heard about it. And the thing is, I don't remember why I put it on the list. I don't remember. But I finally decided to get to it. Um, and I don't know what to expect at all. I don't know what to expect because I don't remember anything about this. I don't remember what it's about. I don't remember, like, anything. I don't know if I even saw a trailer. I might have just read a synopsis and thought, like, I could check this out. I have no fucking clue. But I love that I have no fucking clue. I've said before that I love being completely blind to stuff. Even if I don't end up liking it, I just like the experience of being blind to it so I can give a completely fair, open reaction. Knowing literally nothing about this, like not even the smallest detail, allows me to be like completely honest, to not have any preconceived notions at all, and for my reaction and my thoughts to be as genuine as possible. And I think that gives the best reaction and the best, most real um, perception. So even from the title, I can't gather too much from that because that could it's vague as hell. Those Snow White notes, it doesn't really tell you anything. It doesn't explain what it could be about exactly. It doesn't explain what it means. It's like that could mean so many different things. It's so vague that it could mean practically anything. It could have deep meaning to the series, or it could just be a cool title. I don't know. I do think it's a pretty cool title, though. It has a certain ring to it that works really well. Um, but yeah, without knowing anything, this is going to be a pretty interesting experience. Um, I don't know what I'm going to think about it, but we're going to find out. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay. So this centers around a guy who, this young man, presumably around the same age as Yuna. She's 22, so he's probably right around the same age, I would presume. But he moves from the country to Tokyo after his grandfather dies because his grandfather was, even though they fought and everything, was his biggest inspiration and all he really had. The only thing really connecting him to that place. So he leaves for Tokyo kind of without a plan or anything. And ends up meeting this girl named Yuna who he just happens to stay with because she brings him back to her place after he keeps passing out from sensory overload. but he ends up getting involved in her life and her connection to this other guy named Takito, who kind of a piece of shit, but I guess is gonna be turning his life around after hearing Setsuo play the shamisen and all. So that's already pretty interesting. And yeah, this is about, at least to some degree, the shamisen. It's kind of like, this kind of reminds me in a little bit of a way of if you've ever seen the series Shora Genroku Rakugo Shinju. Um, it's a fantastic series, has 2 seasons. It's basically about the art of Rakugo, which is basically kind of like spoken word poetry, but it's like you're telling a story, but in such a captivating way and everything. It's it's a very interesting art form, and the anime uh, was a great drama that focused on generational Rakugo and how different generations of people could get into it and how it could even change their lives and turn them around and what it meant to different generations as well. It was a really fascinating story. And this kind of makes me think it's like of it being similar but more modernized, I guess you could say, as well as, focusing on music. But there is a major theme that it shares for sure, and that is the theme of finding yourself through art, through a form of art that means a lot to you. And in the case of this series, like our main character Setsuo is trying to find what he's missing. He's trying to find that sound that will give him meaning. He feels empty inside after his grandfather's passing because he was made to realize that he was just copying his grandfather the entire time. He never had a sound of his own. And his grandfather, amongst his grandfather's final words, he told him that, you need to find your own way. If you're just copying me, I don't want you playing the shamisen anymore. And you get the idea there. It's like he wanted him to be his own player. If he's going to play the shamisen, he has to do it his own way. Just copying someone else, it's like there's nothing special about that. You have to imbue your own life into it, your own experiences, your own reality. And so that's what Setsuo is out to figure out, what his own reality is. He's trying to find his sound, and in doing so, he has to find himself. He has to discover who he is and who he wants to be. And he has no clue. He is completely lost in that. Like, he has a good moral compass to him. He's a good person and is willing to stand up for others. That's great. But that should be honestly the standard. That's not exactly an identity. He needs more than that. And so that's what this anime seems like it's probably going to be about. More so than the shamisen itself, it's going to be about the characters finding themselves and going through these journeys to do so. We have 3 main characters right now: Setsuo, Yuna, and Taketo. I assume Yuna and Taketo are also going to continue to be main characters, at least. We see that Setsuo is staying in Yuna's apartment at the moment, and that Taketo just kind of lets himself in every now and again. And we see that Yuna was an aspiring actress, but had quit after her agent offered her porn because she wasn't getting any, other roles. And good for her. It's like that was really fucked up for him to do. And we see that Setsuo is an aspiring, or not Setsuo, Takito is an aspiring musician, and that he's more, I guess, more of a rock star than Setsuo. So there's definitely a very different feel there, but it looks like Takito is, after all the mistakes he's made, is he? It looks like he's willing to change and turn himself around, which is a good thing. He definitely understood what he did was wrong. He definitely ended up getting that, and he didn't entirely apologize, but he acknowledged it. And so it seems like he's probably going to go on this journey to better and discover himself as well in this series. Um, and then at the end, everything kind of just like completely just flips on its head when this woman just literally bursts in the door of the apartment. And it's like, I found you, Setsuo. And it's like, who the fuck is this woman? The way she's talking about him, like she's talking about him like she's his mother. Is she his mother? Like, who is she? What is going on here? Like, they literally, like, broke the door off its hinges. They literally burst in. Like, what the hell? That's, like, one hell of a cliffhanger to end on. That it's just, like, the tone shift is massive there. But, yeah. There's definitely some questions it left as well. Like, where did Yuna go during this time? Like, she was like going off, and she said she didn't know when she'd be back and everything. Like, where did she go? She said she was quitting show business, but where was she going off to? Where was she, like, what was her plan there? I'm kind of curious about that. Like, was she visiting family? Was she doing something else? I don't know. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see how this continues to develop. I want to check something here real quick. Okay. Okay, according to this, there's 12 episodes. And it has, from what I'm seeing, it has not been renewed for a second season. This originally came out in 2021, by the way. Da, 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 da. Okay, and there's a question I was also wondering. The Shamisen music is actual Shamisen music, and it is supervised by the Yoshida brothers, who are known Shamisenist musicians in Japan. So it is very, like, accurate Shamisen music. Okay. According to this, there's 2 opening themes, but there's only 12 episodes? That's unusual. I guess maybe not unheard of, but unusual. Usually a series, for 12 episodes, a single core series would only have 1 opening. And apparently the Yoshida brothers also did the ending theme. Apparently, there's also only one ending theme as well, by the way. And the studio is one I don't think I've heard of. It's Shin A Animation. It's the studio behind Doraemon and Crayon Shin-chan? Really? Or Doraemon, by the way. I have mispronounced that. Doraemon and Crayon Shin-chan? Like, that's a weird studio to do a series like this, I feel. I don't know, like, what else they've done. Let's see here. Oh, they did Sweetness and Lightning? Oh, it was also TMS Entertainment. It was a group thing. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I've seen Sweetness and Lightning. I liked Sweetness and Lightning. Okay. So I do know something they've done. Because I haven't seen those other ones. Oh, apparently they did The World Ends With You animation. And there's something, I guess, that's coming out this year called The Dangers in My Heart. What movies have they done? A lot of Doraemon movies. And there's a lot of Crayon Shin-chan movies? I did not know that. Teasing Master Takagi-san the movie? Oh, okay. Just the movie, though? And apparently they did some specials for The Laughing Salesman. That's interesting. And even some specials for Stitch. You know, like Disney's Lilo and Stitch. There's some anime specials they did for that as well. I could see that. Um, okay, so this is a studio I'm not super familiar with at all. It's like I've seen I've seen Sweetness and Lightning, and I know of Doraemon and Crayon Shin-chan, but I really haven't like actively seen them or anything. I've just maybe seen clips here and there randomly. But yeah, it's like that's interesting. Either way, so the big question here is that because this is a first impressions reaction, am I going to continue reacting to this? And honestly, yeah. This one actually really caught me off guard. It actually surprised me. Um, it was pretty darn good. Now I don't know if I'll end up getting through the entire series when I do get to this. I don't even know when I'm going to end up getting to it because there's plenty still on my list I need to get to first. This one, unlike some others that we've done, wouldn't be a priority one for me. Like I wouldn't push it to the front like something like Link Click, but um, when I do get to it, I don't know where I'll go with it or how far I'll go with it, but hopefully to the end because this so far is fascinating. Like even without that ending cliffhanger, I could get behind just the idea of these characters finding themselves and the writing is solid, the characters are solid. It's like I can get behind that. But in the meantime, tell me in the comments below what did you think of episode 1 of those Snow White notes. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.